Hi students, today in this video we go for the second part of this chapter, the first half part and the second part of this chapter. The name of the chapter is, this is Jodie's phone. In the first part we saw that Jodie, the name of a boy's father, was bitten by a rattlesnake, and Jodie killed the doe to save his father's life and used the heart and liver of that doe for saving his father's life. And after that he was very much worried about the fawn that became alone in the forest. And now we see in the next part, and this is the next part of part number 1, half part of part number 1, that page number 88 of your Honeydew textbook. Can I ride back with Millville and see if I can find it? Now Millville, Jodie said that, can I go with Millville, my friend? Tell your ma I said you can go. His papa said that, tell your mother I gave permission to you, but you have to take permission from your mother. He sidled back to the table and sat down. His mother was pouring coffee for everyone. He sidled means he quietly went back to the table and sat down. Jodie's mother was purring means put a coffee for everyone. He said, Ma, Pa says I can go bring back the phone. Now Jodie said to his mother that I want to find that phone. She held the coffee pot in mid-air. Jodie's mother held the coffee pot. What phone? What about phone? Which phone? She didn't know about that phone. The phone belonging to the doe we killed. We used the doe's liver to draw out the poison and save Pa. Now Jodie gave introduction about that phone, that we killed his mother and we used the liver of that mother to draw out the poison of Pa's body. She gasped means breathed fast. Well, for pity's sake. For pity's sake means for kindness. Pa says it would be ungrateful to leave it to starve. Now Jodie said to his mother that Papa says that it will be unkind to leave that phone to starve means for hunger. Doc Wilson said. Doc Wilson was a family member of Jodie's family. That's right, ma'am. Nothing in this world comes quite free. Now Doc Wilson gave support to Jodie and said that nothing in this world comes quite free. If doe killed by the life of Penny, then Penny have to pay back for this. The boy is right and his daddy is right. Means the boy and the daddy means Jodie and his father, both they are right. Millville said he can ride back with me. I will help him to find it. Millville confirmed that he can ride with me. He can come with me and I will help him to find the phone. She sat down the pot helplessly. Now his mother became helpless and she sat down the pot. Well, if you will give it your milk, we have got nothing else to feed it. Well, if you give assurance that you give your milk to that phone, then I will allow you to bring that phone, because we have not anything else to feed that phone. Millville said, come on boy, we have got to get riding. Now Millville said to Jodie that, come on boy, now mama gave permission and we have to go now in the forest to find the phone. And now we go for the next part. Ma Baxter asked anxiously, you will not be gone long? Ma Baxter is surname of Jodie. That Mummy Baxter asked anxiously means with worry that you will not be gone long. Jodie said, I will be back before dinner for sure. Jodie gave assurance that I will be back before dinner, before evening. Millville mounted his horse and pulled Jodie up behind him. Now Millville mounted means climbed the horse and pulled Jodie. Jodie sat behind him. He said to Millville, do you think the phone still there? Phone is still there. Jodie said to Millville that, do you think that phone was there? Will you help me to find him? Will you help me to find that phone? So now we go for the next page. We will find him if he is alive. How you know it's a he? Now Millville said that we will find if he is alive. how do you know? Now Jody asked to Melville that how do you know that he is a male? The spots were all in a line. Now Melville said that the spots of that phone were all in a line. On a dough phone passes, the spots are every which way. Now Melville said that the spots of female doe are every in different direction, but on a male doe the spots are in a line, so that phone is a male phone. So this is the first part, and comprehension questions we will do afterwards. And now we go for the second part, that Jody gave himself over to thoughts of the phone. They passed the abandoned clearing, so they left out the open space and now they entered into the forest. He said, cut to the north, Melville. It was up here that Pa got bitten by the snake and killed the doe, and I saw the phone. Now Jody confirmed the place that it was up, cut to the north means cut to the north side, and it was upside that Pa got bitten by the snake. I saw the phone on this place. And now we go for the next paragraph. And here is the next paragraph. Suddenly Jody was unwilling to have Melville with him. Jody don't wanted that Melville come with him. If the phone was dead, if the phone was not alive, then or could not be found, he could not have this appointment to scene. He could not seen his sadness to Wilmil. And if the phone was there, if the phone was alive, the meeting would be so lonely and so secret that he could not endure to share it. See, he didn't want to share his feelings about phone to Melville, so he did not wanted to come Melville with him. He said, it's not far now, but the scrub is very thick. For a horse, I can make it on foot. Now, Jody said to Melville that it is not far now. It is very near now. The place is very near. So, and the scrub means this place is very much hard, and there are some bushes on the way, so the horse can't walk. So I can make it on the foot. I can walk by this way. But I am afraid to leave you, boy. Suppose you got lost or got bitten by the snake too. Now Melville became worried about Jody, that I am afraid to leave you alone here, because if something happened, that suppose you got lost or you bitten by the snake, then what happened? I will take care. Jody said that I will take care. It might take me a long time to find the phone. It may take a long time, because I don't know that where was the phone. If he is wandered, leave me off right here. If he is wandered, then leave me right here and you can go now. All right, but you take it easy now. You know north here and east. Now Melville said that take it easy, go, be relaxed, and you know north here and east. You know the directions very exactly, that where is north and where is east. There and there, that tall pine makes a bearing. There and there means the tall pine trees makes a bearing, means helps you to find the directions. So long, Melville, I am obliged. So long means well done, I am obliged means I am very thankful to you that you came with me. He waited for the sound of the hoofs to end, then cut to the right. He waited means Jody waited for the sound of hoofs, means it is a past plural of hoof, that the leg of horse makes a sound. So he waited, Jody waited for that sound, and then he went cut to the right side. The scrub was still. The scrub means the thick way was still there. Only his own crackling of twigs sounded across the silence. Only the crackling means sounds of twigs. Twigs means thin branches sounded there. He wondered for an instant if he had mistaken his direction. He wondered for an instant, for a moment, that he had mistaken, means if he lost in the, if he could not find the real direction. And now we go for the next page. And this is the next page. Then a buzzard rose in front of him and flapped into the air. Now what happened, that buzzard means a large bird like the vulture. came near him and in front of him and flapped into air, means they flew into air. He came into the clearing under the oaks, means he came into open space under the oak tree. Buzzards sat in a circle around the carcass of the doe. Now buzzards means the vultures sat in a circle around the carcass, means dead body of the doe. They turned their heads on their long scrawny necks and hissed at him. They means the buzzards turned their heads to Geordie and their long scrawny means neck, thin neck, and hissed at him. They make sound to him. He threw his bow at them and they flew into the adjacent tree. He threw means Geordie threw his bow. Bow means he had a branch of tree and he threw the branch towards that buzzards and they flew into the adjacent tree. Adjacent means nearby the tree. They flew around. The sand showed large cat friends, but the big cats killed fresh and they had left the doe to the carrion birds. The sand showed means the sand on that way on that place that showed a large cat prints. There were cat prints on the sand and big cats killed fresh and they hunted and they had left the doe to the carrion birds for the birds to eating. He parted the grass at the place where he had seen the fawn. Now he make partition between the grass and he had to find the place where he had seen the fawn. It did not seem possible that it was only yesterday. Now it did not possible that it happened only in yesterday. The fawn was not there. The fawn, he could not find the fawn. He circled the clearing. He circled means he circled at the open space. There was no sound, no sign. There was no any sign of that fawn. The buzzards flackered their wings. The buzzards flackered means sound their wings, impatient to return to the business. Now buzzard want to eat that killed doe and they want to come back on that place, but they are very impatient. He returned to the spot where the fawn had emerged and dropped on all fours. Now Geordie returned to that spot where he saw the fawn, studying the sand for the small hoof prints. Now he examined the sand that if there small hoof prints of that fawn were there. The night's rain had washed away all tracks except those of cat and buzzards. The night's rain means yesterday there was rain at night and it washed away all the tracks, all the prints, except without there were only the prints of cat and buzzards. So this is the second part, and the next part, the third part, we will see the next video. We will see in the next video, and I hope you understood this second part very, very well. And you can read this part from the page number 88, 89 and 90 of your Honeydew textbook. Thank you.